Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome to Stretford. Paddock, Manchester United 1, Sheffield United 2. Huge defeat for Manchester United in the race for this title. Obviously, a long, long way to go. Plenty of points being dropped left, right and centre. But how much of a setback was that for United today, Steve?
It's big, mate. In the grand scheme of things, we're still only a point off City-level games. I don't think anyone can catch us. So we are second after game week 20, point behind City.
They've got a game in hand now, so it could go to 4.
Yeah. But nobody else can catch us, so we are second. It's a massive opportunity drop, though, because the Sheffield United team's one of the worst, if not the worst, Premier League team in history. That's the nightmare, because they was like, well, we're not going to play football against you. We're going to absolutely try and destroy you on the counter. And it is a valid tactic to use. Unfortunately, it's also wildly effective, but United should have known this. United should have prepared for this. United should have anticipated this, and I think a lot of players, potentially on the back of beating Liverpool at the weekend, was like, we're the shit, we're top of the league, and I think we either took our foot off the gas or we underestimated Sheffield United, because it's easier to prevent goals than it is to score them. And I think that's what they did very well. I think, for all the possession we had, we did fuck all with it. We didn't penetrate. I didn't see people, how many times did you see a United player take a man on tonight? And I know it's difficult in tight spaces, but that's usually a very effective way to start creating gaps in a low block. When someone's sitting, and they've got you man for man and they're all here, we'll fucking take this guy on. Boom, there's a 2v1 here now. That's usually a very effective way of doing that. We didn't see that. Some seriously bad individual performances from different people. I've just seen someone, Mo Burry is actually, from Squawker, saying, I wonder if De Gea should still be considered first choice. Made a big mistake. Didn't really do anything.
Which goal would you say is the mistake?
Well, I would say when he didn't fucking clear it. You put your foot through that. He just
So the
fucking
second
passed
one?
it. Yeah, he's just passed it 15 yards away.
Because there was a catalogue of errors there, wasn't there?
Yeah,
Maguire had an opportunity to take control. De Gea had an opportunity. Twanzebe had an opportunity. Yeah. Martial gave the ball away leading up to that opportunity. It was, and that's what every goal we've conceded this season's been. Cavani at the weekend.
Five different spots where any of yous can fucking stop this and haven't, and ultimately it's led to that. But I think the most glaring one, especially for a goalkeeper that's not known for playing out, like De Gea, put your foot through the fucker and make the ball boy work for it.
Because he played it into a space and then he was shocked no one was there to get it. And it's like, what? I couldn't get my head around that. But regardless of that,
I don't agree that he's definitely not first choice on the back of that. I just thought it was an interesting question that he's brought up.
Because for me, Dean Henderson made mistakes at the weekend. And I felt, for example, the one with his feet, De Gea probably saves that.
I don't know if that's a mistake, though, or just a bonus of playing De Gea, who's just
good
with his feet.
Fair point. But Dean has made mistakes. He's not flawless.
No, he's not. He's not had a single game where people have gone, oh my fucking God, see a De Gea, get rid of him. No one's ever said that.
He's felt De Gea's been quite good this season. Maybe apart from today.
Yeah, people have generally been saying they've been all right.
That goal to me, that second goal, it stinks of complacency. He'll deal with it. And not taking Sheffield United seriously.
Too many people just looking at what was going on and not fucking moving.
Because was it Lundstrom who scored? He was free and he had 3 shots, was it? It was
Ollie Burke that scored.
It was in that 5-yard space and he just had the ball come to him 3 times and had shot.
The fact that he's had a ball played to him and he's inside United's 18-yard box, there's got to be some things where you just go, you're DEFCON 5, no one's fucking... You don't allow shots inside our box. People have got to throw the fucking bodies at that. It was just shit. Axel hasn't played a lot. When he's come in some isolated games. The Istanbul game tonight, he's not fucking looked great.
Was that an error? The decision to play Twanzebe? And maybe... I don't know who came in over Cavani today. I'd imagine it was Martial. He's the one out of form. Was it a mistake to leave Cavani out?
I thought it was a mistake to leave Cavani out anyway, because you know what's coming here. You know what's coming. And you see some of the opportunities that we had in the first half when you're putting on someone that spams crosses in a little bit the way that Tellez does. Putting him up to Marshall, that's a fucking waste of 2 people's talents, really. But as you saw for the corner, you put someone up there that can, and actually found a fucking use for Maguire at corners. if you put someone on like Cavani, who's got the movement in the box, who's got the ability to be able to actually challenge them three fucking giants that they've got at centre half in the air, you might have seen something earlier. You might not have gone down a goal. And I think that's always the problem in a team that's going to play in a low block. You cannot concede first. You have to be quite cautious almost. You have to really fucking play your cards right in these games, because them getting that goal, they're like, oh, that was all we wanted. And now you've fucked, and that's now you've got to work twice as hard, because they'll take that point. They'll take you scoring one, because this is a fucking point we weren't getting. And that's the nightmare. And it's always, it's not acceptable for a team that's challenging for the league, or if you think we're challenging for the league, to be dropping points to teams that don't fucking get points. But it is always those. How many times you see it? Top plays bottom and fuck it up. The only team who never really does that, and recently, but previously they did, was City. City will twat them for fucking 6 at weekend, guarantee it. But they had a fucking massive drama beating Stoke. Could never beat them. You could always rely on Stoke 1-0 against Manchester City. And there's a couple of teams that just got your fucking number a little bit. And with this United side, I thought we were over that. Like when they scored, I'm not panicking. I'm annoyed, I'm not panicking. We will score. I don't look at this United side and go, oh, we'll never fucking score a goal. But as it gets to the 60th minute, the 70th minute, and you're like, and then they score, you go, now I don't know.
And you actually think about it. The goals, I thought Martial's goal should have stood.
Yeah.
Maguire's goal. But if you look at those two goals, one's from a mistake, the keeper drops it, set piece. 2 set piece goals. Yeah. Apart from a Greenwood opportunity when he was in, he got to the 6-yard box, and he just, similar to the Liverpool chance, I can't remember a clear-cut opportunity.
No, and that's, Ramsdale's kind of notoriously shit from range, and you've got the likes of Paul Pogba and Bruno on there, and they didn't test him. Marcus didn't test him. And why Marcus keeps getting moved over to the right-hand side to accommodate Marshall, who's in fucking horrendous form. But Marcus looked great on the left against Liverpool at weekend. Looked lively, looked sharp, looked like he was...
It was his best game of the season against Liverpool, I thought.
Potentially, yeah.
Marcus's.
And then you knew as soon as he pulled Greenwood, 'cause I heard you at half-time say pull Greenwood, and I was like, not sure about that. Greenwood literally couldn't get you a goal. He's probably been the most likely to get a goal out of the 3 in the first half. If anyone, I'm pulling Marshall in this. And you can keep Greenwood there, you can keep Marcus here, and you can play Cavani down the middle. I don't know why we're resting Cavani. He's 33, but...
Vardy's 33.
It's a bit like this. Yeah, he could play week in, week out for me. I think he ran like a record amount for a fucking striker at weekend.
12 kilometres or something crazy.
Yeah, so...
That's probably part of the reason that played into him not starting today. But I even felt today's game was more suited to Cavani. If you want to pick one to play Cavani in, Martial's probably more suited to playing in an Arsenal team who are going to leave spaces in behind.
Yeah, they're going to have a fairly high line. Like, that's what I think I mentioned it at half-time. If not, I mentioned it in here. Like, Greenwood, Marcus and Martial, they're not the same player. They have totally different fucking capabilities and sensibilities, but they are players that look to get in beyond, more or less. There is a very similar archetype. You wouldn't classify Cavani as the same as those 3. So you play those 3 with the same sort of characteristics very broadly, like they're not identical, but you know what I mean. And you leave someone like Cavani on the bench, you go. Whereas, yeah, your high line, your Liverpool, your City, play them and just spam fucking balls in behind and watch them chase them like a puppy. Like that's what they're at their best. Marcus is at his best when he's chasing a ball in behind, like with that 30-40 yard in behind the defence. He ain't getting that tonight. Tony's probably at his best cutting in at a defence that's all at 6 and 7s from the left-hand side. You don't get that tonight when they're playing a back 5. You get double marked. Mason can operate in between the lines a little bit, but really, he likes getting in behind as well. You don't really have that ability when you're playing a team that's just fucking low blocking the shit out of you.
I thought a big problem today for us as well, without that creation of opportunities. We just mentioned the front 3, but I thought they had very little to feed off. And that's partly because Bruno didn't have a great game, and Pogba was... I thought he was too deep throughout the match. He didn't get forward enough.
At half-time, I think I mentioned, I thought Pogba, especially when we were playing out, because they do press and they do harass you a little bit when you're playing out, Pogba was doing some excellent work in that sort of like right-hand channel.
I thought he was probably our best player out of everyone, if you were going to pick our best, but I don't think it was, it was slim pickings, wasn't it?
I thought he was operating nice, but he was in our half, and he was just outside our box, and it's great to use his attributes there. But I want Paul Pogba in the opposition half where he's going to affect the game. And I thought everyone had fucked off to that left-hand side. And I thought, if we'd have just had that positional discipline a little bit, maybe Bruno says, I'll take the left, you fucking take the right, and just sit there and be patient. Because to break a low block down, you've got to move them side to side, because that's when you find someone being lazy. That's when you see a gap opens that's 15 yard instead of 10, and that's just enough to fucking sneak a ball through, especially someone with the ability and the vision of Paul Pogba. And you almost want, you deal with that side, I'll deal with this side, and I'll fucking keep finding you. We'll keep switching it, and we'll find someone. And if you've got movement up front, Cavani, Mason coming off the side, I think you'd find it. And today we just didn't play to that. We bunched up on one side. And ultimately, we ain't the finished article, which is why I've been well reluctant in getting fucking giddy about we've progressed, we're doing fantastic, but we ain't the finished article. I look at some of the other teams, and City's the one, really. I go, in second gear, they dig this league. And
I don't think they're even the finished article. I think they're still missing in a few key areas, especially a forward, but I do, especially the benefit of the coaching under Pep for so long, and obviously having the players. A lot of the core players have been there for a while as well and won it already. You are right. It is a big opportunity missed today. But at the same time, there was a few weeks ago we were hoping to just get 1 point behind Liverpool. And
that's it. So, we're second. Ultimately, if we finish second, you'd call it progress, not a success. I think success and failure just is too much of a binary sort of choice. I think there's shades of grey, and I think it's progress. And I think the fact that we could consider ourselves in a title fight halfway through the season would be progress, whether you want to admit you're in a title fight or not. But you're asking for City to really fuck this up, which, I think, I can't remember who I was talking to, who was talking about, can you see City going on a pure unbeaten run? I'm like, yeah, I fucking can, yeah. I absolutely can. We've done it. And we're, not the finished article. So I absolutely think this City team was more than capable of going on this run. And it's been a fun ride. And like I said last week, enjoy the view while we're here. I'm not sure we're going to be here for a while. And everyone always wants to project it to, we're through to the 5th round. Are we going to win it? Okay, no, let's just enjoy it. We're top at Christmas or January, are we going to win the league now? Just enjoy the ride, man. Just enjoy where we're at. And obviously I didn't fucking enjoy tonight. But I can't say I didn't fucking see it coming either, to be honest.
I thought I'm not going to, at half-time, I was pretty confident we'd win.
Who did we play last week? Midweek?
Fulham.
I actually thought, we get through, we don't get beat off Liverpool. We're top of the league, we fucking drop points at Fulham. Yeah,
that was the one that I thought was the one, or Burnley just before Liverpool, and we get through them, and then it's this one at home. Our home form is dreadful.
Our home form is shite, and maybe that'll benefit us when we go to the Emirates. Because I'm looking at their form, they're in good form. They've got a lot of confidence. It's going to be a tough game, that. If we can get 3 points out of that, it's not the end of the world. We've had a phenomenal fucking run.
Because I'd say this.
It was a record.
I would have probably looked to have taken a draw against Arsenal, or put that down as right. That might be a draw. So if we win that game, then we've made up two of the 3 points we've lost today.
Yeah, it's not an amazing result beating Arsenal, obviously, but
has to be done now.
It mitigates tonight's blatantly shit result.
Anyway, cheers, Steve.